Hello, wonderful YouTube human-y people. My name is Stephanie Lynette and welcome back to my channel. Now this is a video I tried to make in early 2021 discussing my post-op weight gain. Like finally discussing my post-op weight gain. So, no idea where to start. If you saw my kind of life update, mental health update from last week, you'll know that I put a lot of work into addressing how I talk about my weight and how I try and do that more positively, kind of moving forwards. But I'm gonna throw some figures at you here. Before my surgery, okay, so the thinnest I've ever been for me is around about 75 kilograms. And I struggled with disordered eating my whole life, and I thought I was very, very big. I suffer from body dysmorphia, which obviously skews everything a little bit. And so 75 kilograms was kind of my old weight. And then when I went in for my surgery, I had gained some weight. I had been in a relationship, I was very comfortable. I was, you know, eating and all of those things. And so when I went in for my surgery, I was 89 kilograms, so just under 90 kilograms, so about, you know, a 14 kilogram weight difference from my very, very skinniest. And this is due to multiple things. This is due to me eating more in a relationship, feeling more comfortable in my body. This is due to my kind of disordered relationship to kind of binging and comfort eating. And it's also due in part to hormones. So taking gender reassignment hormones for myself meant taking estrogen. And estrogen slows down a very highly fueled testosterone teenage metabolism. It makes you retain weight in certain areas. And so part of my weight gain was attributed to that, and part of it was attributed to the fact I was more comfortable and I, you know, I wasn't struggling so much with my body image because I was with partners who, you know, cared about me and loved me. But then when I went in for my surgery on the 15th of February 2020, and I came out, I weighed myself when I came out, and I was, I think, around about 90 kilograms. And just before my surgery in 2020, I left my job so that I could recover properly. I had savings, so that wasn't a problem. And then we went straight into a global pandemic, and my response to stress is to eat because I have a disordered relationship to food. And so I rapidly gained weight, and while most of this can be attributed to the fact that I was comfort eating, a lot of this can be contributed to because of the hormonal changes that were happening in my body. So what trans women don't tend to talk about a huge amount is that you will often experience an influx of weight gain post-op due to the changes of your metabolism, the changing to how you expel liquid, the changing to the retention of that liquid, and then the complete removal of testosterone. Because obviously you can take blockers and but when you still have testicles, there's always, you know, a small amount and all of those things. So having that removed, it completely overhauls your entire body clock, like completely changes everything. And so where my eating habits were getting worse from the pandemic, that was not aided by the fact that oh, I do apologize, excuse me. That was not aided by the fact that I was really struggling with comfort eating. So how much weight have I gained? I went from 90 kilograms when I came out of surgery to 112 kilograms in the May. So that was obviously a 22 kilogram weight gain in about 3 months. Not ideal. And then steadily over the last 2 years, I've continued to gain weight, and then peaking at my heaviest which is a body weight of 129 kilograms. Now, obviously I am 6'3", so I carry weight very differently to a lot of other people. So being 129 kilograms for me is represented in being a size 18 to 20. However, for someone who used to be a size 8 to 10, that's a very difficult thing to come to terms with. And there are some things that came along with weight gain which I loved. Two of those things, they're just sitting right here. Love the girls. The girls can stay. I love that my hips got bigger. I love that my butt got bigger. I actually love my stretch marks because my stretch marks came through in really affirming female places. They came through on my hips and they came through on my thighs, and it felt very positive. But, you know, I don't want to sugarcoat things. I have an unhealthy BMI, and there are a lot of women who are of a certain weight, and the BMI scale is very sexist and very racist, and I wouldn't put a huge amount of clout into the BMI scale, but it's just easier here. So I have an obese BMI, and it's something that, you know, I'm very open kind of talking about, and I used to have an underweight BMI. So I've gone from, you know, 75 kilograms in 2018 to 129 kilograms in 2022, which, you know, is an overall weight gain of more than 50 kilograms, which is a lot of weight. And there have been definite physical drawbacks. I've noticed myself struggling to regulate my body temperature, and I've noticed myself really disliking how I physically look and allowing it to restrict me from doing certain things. But I'm making this video because I finally at a place where I've started to make positive life changes surrounding my weight. And I don't mean necessarily losing weight, although I have lost weight. I mean around my relationship to food. I finally accepted a diagnosis to speak to the eating disorder team at Queen Anne's to discover what's going on with myself, because when I was younger, I suspected myself of having anorexia nervosa, but I never got it diagnosed because I was so afraid of telling my doctors that it would slow down my transition. And then I developed a binging and purging habit while I was in college, using laxatives, and then when I got over that, I retained the binging kind of aspect, and so I believe that I have, well, my doctors believe and I believe that I have suspected BED, which is binge eating disorder, and I think this because I am a woman who has celiac disease, but I actively choose to eat gluten because I enjoy the fact it hurts my insides. So if I am really depressed, I'll eat lots and lots of gluten, and then I feel very uncomfortable, and it's kind of like an internalized form of self-harm, and it's something that took me a really, really long time to wrap my head around. So I finally accepted that, and then I've been eating healthier. I've been staying off of gluten, which has been really good. So I went from 129 kilograms at the end of October to 129 kilograms at the beginning of October to 121 kilograms. What is the 13th of November? So I've lost more than a stone already. So I'm making these positive changes, but I really struggle with my weight. I've been really struggling with my weight gain, and I've been struggling to phrase it in a positive. Now, I am still a very confident person. I don't feel confident in my physical appearance, but I feel confident in my intellect and my speaking voice and how I hold myself. You know, I've never allowed something to pull me back in my life. But I do feel less attractive, and I do feel less healthy, and so those are the reasons I'm making those positive changes. And while I do have certain goals in my head, it's not something I'm going to document on YouTube because it's something that's really private and really personal. And I also don't want to fuel into the idea that thin is in and to be large is to be unhealthy, because I don't personally believe that. I believe that a lot of bigger women look beautiful bigger. I know that I preferred to be smaller, but I also know that when I was smaller I was really, really unhappy, a lot unhappier than I am right now. And so, you know, it's definitely kind of navigating that and finding that that kind of, you know, middle ground. So I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about it because not enough people are talking about the fact that a lot of people experience weight gain when they transition male to female on estrogen. A lot of people experience weight gain when their metabolism changes following on from sexual reassignment surgery. That can be an incredibly affirming thing. Like I said, I love the growth of my chest. I love the fact I have stretch marks in very feminine places. I love that I have a small waist and very wide hips. I love that my ass has got, I mean, it's got some junk in the trunk. And I do enjoy elements of that. And my weight gain has obviously been quite extreme due to the fact that I have pre-existing kind of disordered habits around food. But when I tried to make this before, I just broke down. It was horrendous because I really struggled talking frankly about my weight. So that was why I wanted to make this video. I'm still around, still loving life. Bit sweatier than I used to be because there's a lot more of me to love. But I still, you know, I'm still exploring the things that I love. I still love fashion. I still love makeup. I still love hyper femme presenting, you know, moments. And I wanted to share that, you know, I'm very open about my weight gain. I'm very open about the fact that that's something I've experienced in my life, and it doesn't necessarily make me unattractive, but it makes me feel less attractive. And that's where that implementation comes from. So that is today's video, talking a little bit about my weight gain. Finally addressing it, because let's be honest, they've been the elephants in the room for a while. Because they're not fake. They're just, you know, tits are mostly fat anyway, so it's fine. God. Okay, I'm gonna go now. It's been really nice talking to you all. That's my video about how much weight I've gained and why I'm currently in a 1980s caftan. Okay, I'm gonna see you soon for another video. Bye. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Bom.